Welcome to Justice in Cannabis. I'm Sean Farrow, and alongside me is my co-legal director of the CJEI Justice Lab, Jeffrey Hoffman. Today we're going to start at the very beginning with a groundbreaking law that changed the game in New York City. We're talking about the Marijuana Regulation and Taxation Act, or as a lot of folks call it, MRTA. MRTA wasn't just a legal bill. It was designed as a blueprint to repair harm. And it has two core purposes: justice, and as I said, repair harm, but also equity. The justice aspect, it hasn't been clear, and the rollout has been incredibly slow. In fact, it's supposed to have automatic expungements, but unfortunately, so many people don't know about that part. What's even more is that for a lot of the crimes, there is no automatic expungement. You have to file a motion in court, and most people don't even know that part. So there's a lot of things that we need to dispel today. And the equity part?
Well, Sean, you know, for the equity part in the cannabis law here in New York, they managed to get that right. New York has probably implemented the most equitable law of any state that has legalized cannabis in the United States. The two key portions of the law is one requiring social and economic equity applicants get priority licensing. This includes minorities, disabled veterans, and a whole host of other folks that the law says should get priority in the licensing. Additionally, the law has specific monies set aside out of the tax revenue that gets generated from cannabis sales to go back into the community to help fix some of the harm that was done by anti-cannabis enforcement across the state of New York, and especially here in New York City. So really, when it comes to the equity part, New York is doing it unlike any other state.
So we got one aspect of it right, but that justice component, how are we doing on that front?
So that's a real good question, Sean. Unfortunately, the law did not require that individuals get notified that they are impacted by the change in the law. So if you had a misdemeanor and it got automatically expunged, nobody knows about it. So one of the things that we do at the Cannabis Justice and Equity Initiative is help people get that education, help them find the documents that prove that their cannabis conviction has been expunged. And then unfortunately for folks that have a felony conviction, they actually have to go to court and do something. And as you noted at the beginning here, most people don't even know that they have to do it, much less don't know how to do it if they even knew that they had to do it. So again, one of the things that we do at CJEI for no cost is help people identify if they have these issues on their records, and then help them address that either by finding the proof that their conviction has been expunged, or helping them file the necessary paperwork in court to get their conviction expunged.
So you said something key that I love here that I just want to make sure the folks heard properly. That's free 99. We give out free legal services to our people, right? Anybody that's been justice impacted, especially by that war on drugs, that prohibition on cannabis, come talk to us because we're here to help you. We're here to clear your record and expunge it if we can. And for those cases that we can't expunge, let's talk about sealing certificates of relief or certificate of good contact. But there's ways that we can help you. But you also said another important part. You have to go get your disposition, essentially. You have to find out what's on your record. You have to go to the court in which your convictions were had.
That's correct.
And then for a lot of folks, if you need to file that motion, you probably need to talk to a lawyer, right? To one of us, because it's very complicated to try to get some of these courts, some of these judges, especially upstate judges, to sit there and overturn your conviction and expunge it. But what can we do now, right? We're gonna come full circle here. How do we sit there and help people beyond just, everybody wants a license. Everybody thinks they're gonna get a dispensary. How do we help people on the equity front there?
Sure, so the reality is there's only gonna be a few thousand to several thousand licenses across the entire state. However, there are gonna be tens of thousands, maybe even over 100,000 jobs in the cannabis industry here in the state. And that is really a vector that we can use to bring opportunity to the communities that were disproportionately impacted by anti-cannabis enforcement. So one of the other things that CJEI offers is a 16-week training program, which is going to be discussed at later points on this show and on future shows, where we help train individuals about the cannabis industry here in New York and assist them in getting jobs. And in fact, CJEI has had 2 cohorts graduate already, and a
right.
majority of those graduates are now employed in the cannabis industry here in the state.
And not to mention, on top of that, we've already successfully appealed and got expunged a couple of folks' records. So what we do here is simply we clear your records or help you to clear your records. We put you through the free training course, and we help you break into this industry. So if you ever need help, check us out at thecjei.org. I'm Sean Farrow, and this is Jeff Hoffman.
And we look forward to working with you from CJEI's Justice Lab. Thank you.